I knew I was addicted when I got the phone call from my daughter saying that she was going to be kicked out of college because her tuition hadn't been paid. Up until then, I really thought I was just having a string of bad luck. But once I got that call, I knew it was a problem and I had to do something.
I can say that if it had not been for someone caring enough to do a little television segment whenever I was at the point of suicide, that I would not be here today.
I didn't care about life, I didn't care about my family, I didn't care about anything except gambling.
If I had to describe my gambling addiction, would have been pretty horrific.
It's a very powerful force that is scary and intimidating, and it will cause you to really reassess things. And it's just the addiction, it's like nothing you've ever come across before in your life. And the power of it can overwhelm you. It will make you humble. It will make you realize that there are some strong forces out there and you have to be strong back.
My gambling addiction was very devastating. It took me away from everything that was important to me.
Gambling took me to the gates of hell, to where I didn't really care what happened to me.
My gambling addiction really took everything from me. It took my career, it took my family structure away, it took my daughter's education away.
It forced me to do things that I never would have dreamed in a million years that I would do. And those things are borrowing money, taking money, selling personal items, all just to get money to gamble.
My gambling addiction, I lost me. I was not myself anymore. I turned into somebody, a person that not only did I not know, I did not like at all, and I couldn't change it.
The last time I placed a bet, I looked myself in the mirror and said, this is do or die. And I knew that if I didn't win back the money, that I was going to commit suicide.
The thing that I get the most from my recovery is the ability to deal with life as it happens without having to run to gamble over it.
I think the biggest thing for me is knowing that I'm not alone, that there's other people out there who have had the same struggles and thoughts that I have, and the inspiration that I get from others who have been successful in recovery.
Being able to actually have a life and be happy. Spend time with my grandkids.
My life. Today I have a life, whereas 13 years ago I did not. Gambling had taken over, and that's all I thought about.
Recovery means a new way of living, a new way of thinking, being a better person.
it means to me being able to wake up every morning and not worried about where am I going to get money today to go gamble with. It's recovery for me is peace.
Wow, recovery is a new life. It's entirely different. I don't have to be in misery. I don't have to be in the addiction when it's where the addiction is controlling me, where the gambling is what I think about all the time. I can actually be okay.
Back to my life. Today I can live life on life's terms. I've learned how to deal with people, places, and things. I'm happy today.
I think that people most often think that gambling excessively is a choice. For compulsive gamblers, it's not a choice.
Well, I think the most misunderstood thing about gambling addiction is a lot of people think unless it's something that you put in your body, such as drugs or alcohol, that you truly cannot be addicted to something else. And I'm here to tell you that's not true at all.
I think that the normal person misunderstands gambling addiction because they think that gambling is so socially accepted that if anybody has a problem or spends a little bit too much money, they can just stop. They don't have to go. They don't consider it. Most people don't consider gambling to be an addiction. They just consider it to be a social activity.
Probably the same thing I thought. I thought, especially drug addicts and alcoholics, I thought all you had to do was quit. But until I became the addict, I did not understand that you just can't quit. We have to have help.
I think one of the best ways is to talk about it, to ask. There was a point when my job hired a life coach for me because they noticed some changes in my performance at work. And the life coach never asked me about gambling. I don't know if I'd have come clean if they had asked, but I wasn't given that opportunity for somebody to ask me, is it a problem? Do you need help? So don't be afraid to ask.
I think the biggest thing they can do is, especially if it's someone else who's an addict, is tell the person, I understand, I've been there, the same problems and thoughts that you're having, I've had, and just knowing that someone is there for you to support you is a huge deal. The biggest thing for me, the problem that I had with my addiction was feeling initially before I was in recovery, feeling like I was alone and I was the only person that felt this way. And knowing that there are so many other people out there with the same thoughts and struggles, that was a big deal to me.
I think a person can help somebody else that has a gambling addiction probably the same way that I was helped. I had people that also had a gambling addiction, and they shared with me what had helped them. They shared with me what worked and what didn't work, and by example, that normally is very helpful to the person that's in a crisis with gambling, and I know that worked for me.
By showing up and doing the next right thing. I'm very thankful that there were people there for me when I came into this program, when I came into treatment. That was the best thing I ever did. It was a foundation for my recovery.
So I'm very grateful that people do care enough to share their experience, strength, and hope, and share with other people. And that's what I hope that somebody will maybe hear this and have an opportunity that, like I had, to have their life back.